just wanted to understand from you, GD, from a Titan perspective, where you rightly mentioned making learning very relevant to your audience, and considering the target audience that we are looking at the bottom of the pyramid, workforce in an ecosystem like retail. How do you make learning relevant in a franchise side of business, considering you have so many subsectors in the business when it comes to a jewelry or comes to an apparel or an accessory? How do you make learning relevant to a franchisee side of business?
And very relevant question, Abhijit. And, I will start by saying that is for us also, that's always an ongoing journey. So, one thing, Abhijit, we've been very clear about right from the beginning is that capability building as far as customer experience, product, process, everything that is linked to frontline employees in delivering a certain standard of experience and service to our customers, we will stay invested in, whether it is a company store or a franchisee store. So today, for all our businesses, irrespective of whether it's a company store or a franchisee store, training happens in exactly the same manner. The training tools and resources available to them are exactly the same. So our franchisee employees are on the same learning management system as our on-roll store employees. So we've not differentiated for that very purpose, that that's the only way we will maintain consistency. And it is our workforce which is doing that capability building. So it's not that, we have somebody who's a different set of people training our company store employees and franchisee store employees. So it is exactly the same. The second thing, if you recollect from the earlier conversation, I spoke about learning champions. So we actually invest in building those learning champions, again, not only for company-owned, company-run stores, but also for franchisee stores. So we have a learning champion. If I take Tanishq as a business, we have a learning champion in every franchisee store as well. And in large stores, often there is more than one person who's a learning champion. So that is one side to it, to making sure that we continue to demonstrate ownership for all our ecosystem, our entire ecosystem, and not just a franchisee setup. In fact, in many cases, on the manufacturing side, we also extend that to our manufacturing associates and partners also. Yeah. The second thing that we do, and this is more recent in the last 3 years or so, we actually actively engage with our business associates for capability building for them as well. So how can they be champions of learning? How can they see the power of capability and learning in their store employees? So, and that's an ongoing effort for the last 3 years, where we've worked with them to say, hey, how do you hire the right resources? How do you focus on developing the right capabilities in them? And hence, so how do you identify learning needs linked to business performance, to individual performance, and so on? How do you manage performance? How do you set expectations and manage performance of your workforce? How do you enable your workforce to start looking at enhancing the capabilities? And if you're a large business associate who has, let's say, a few hundreds, or there are business associates with thousands of employees as well. So how can you leverage principles of career planning, in your larger ecosystem and not just the Titan ecosystem? So these are initiatives that we actively engage in with our business associates. And that's been an effort over the most recent years, the last 3 years or so. And several of our business associates have now not just adapted, but start to ask for more as well. And finally, we actually have a business associate council who represents the entire business associate fraternity with us. And we very actively work with that council. We invite business associates to share their practices as well, because, we also have an opportunity to learn from some of them. So we learn from them and we enable them to learn from each other through this network. So that's our approach to making sure that, especially at the front line in a distributed work environment, where we have a blend of, and actually we have 3 formats of stores. We have company-owned, company-run. We have business associate-owned, business associate-run, and we have a hybrid model as well. So in all those formats, we are able to make sure that learning happens consistently.